Welcome back to Las Vegas. Mike Skinner gets into Rusty Wallace and touches off a multiple car crash. Heavy damage to Jeff Gordon and Kurt Busch. Todd Bodine, Larry Foyt also involved. Jimmy Spencer.
A lot of these cars back here, Mike, what they got is got run into when they couldn't see where they're going. They got run into behind, like we were talking about Bill Elliott. You got to slow down, but you hope you don't get run into by someone.
Little left front damage to Todd Bodine as well. Most of the cars in that wreck have gone to the garage.
Now pit road is open. I think we're going to see a lot of our leaders stay out. It's not been that long since they were on pit road, and everybody's got to make one more stop. And right now I'm seeing pretty much everybody at the front staying out. But here comes Jeff Burton, Kevin Harvick, some of those guys pitting.
Jeff Burton, the winningest driver here, in and back into Kurt Busch's garage. Jeff Hammond.
Mike, one of the things that's going on right now in the garage area on Kurt Busch's car, for example, is the radiator. He's got busted the radiator right now. The team will come in. They will take and loosen up some sit screws up here in the front. They'll turn it, pull this radiator out. Probably have to replace the bottom radiator hose. It looked like it was damaged also. And hopefully this damage will only be in the radiator area, not be involved as far as the steering box. I noticed the radiator was really close to the steering box. Again, this is one of those areas when you get hit in the front end that hard, as you can see by our Ford Cutaway car, there's a lot of roll bars as far as the front bumper is concerned, a lot of oil lines. Again, you got to worry about that steering box. If everything gets drove back into it, it could really be a problem for a driver and a crew to make the repairs. Steve?
Tony Stewart said, Jeff, they put on 4 tires. They're trying to pull that left front fender out. Remember, he made contact with a 30 car. Tony's still sitting. They have not put the left front tire on. Now it goes on. They've got that front fender free and clear. Trying to make sure there's clearance. They're going to let the jack drop slowly to make sure the weight settles. There's no rub. They're checking that valence, and now he's going to head out onto the racetrack.
There wasn't a lot of upper fender left there to tape to.
It looks much better now than it did.
Boy, speaking of not a lot of left front fender.
This thing here doesn't look good at all.
Jimmy Fennig is the man with a hammer.
And you know, this group here, this has to be discouraging. I mean, leading the points, and in the last 7 races, 2 this year and the 5 at the end of last year, every finish has been 6th or better, but that won't happen today.
Yeah, and it's no fault of their own making, you know. They just were in the wrong place at the wrong time.
That'll take him out of the running for the McDonald's drive-through championship, fueled by Powerade. Michael Waltrip and Dave Blaney, the 2 teams that have spent the least amount of time on pit road in the first 2 races, each picking up the $20,000 bonus.
Yeah, I don't believe this would be a very good time to offer him a cheeseburger.
You know, this is 2 weeks in a row. Tony Stewart has had fender damage, had it at Rockingham, had it again. They didn't get it fixed as good at Rockingham as they did today.
NASCAR Winston Cup Racing on Fox is brought to you by UPS, official delivery company of NASCAR. We want to race the truck. People love the truck. Dale Jarrett's UPS car is parked after a bout with the wall after contact from Steve Park, and on the restart, Matt Kenseth to the front on Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Jimmy Johnson. Here comes Robbie Gordon trying to get a lap back. It's a land rush into turn 3.
I mean, again, we talked about it earlier. You give these guys a chance to bunch back up, especially those cars like Robbie Gordon who we're riding with here, a chance to maybe get that lap back. They go crazy.
All right, this time the caution was out for a crash that began when Mike Skinner got into Rusty Wallace. Here's Dick Bergman.
And Rusty Wallace has returned from the care center. How are you?
I'm fine. Everything's good. It's just it's a shame. We started the race off in a bad way. Car was real tight, and we got it better. But then on that last pit stop, the pit stop before, we didn't get enough gas in. I only got 6 gallons of gas, and I lost a lap. So struggling, trying to get it back. We got 1 of them back. At that point, we're only 1 down and had a pretty doggone good car. I really think the car was a good, solid top 5 the way it was running. And I passed the 4 car on the outside going into 1, and I think he just pushed up accidentally, got into my left rear quarter panel, and a big wreck, and that was it. He didn't mean it. Just one of those racing things, but boy, I tell you what, I hit hard. Hit real hard.
Hit hard enough he broke his helmet, Mike.
Wow. Good that Rusty is okay. Kurt Busch's car is in the garage. Jeff Gordon's, all as a result of that crash. 4 other cars were involved. So we've restarted here, and Matt Kenseth, the winningest driver in Winston Cup in 2002, up front and off to the races.
Yeah, him and his old buddy Matt there, they used to racing each other. They had a really good go of it in the Busch Series a couple years ago, and they're good friends, and they'll take care of each other.
Kenseth and Earnhardt Jr. battled each other for Rookie of the Year honors in Winston Cup. Kenseth got the nod.
I still like that 48 car. I think he's looking pretty racy.
We have 20 cars on the lead lap, and even though everybody will still have to make one stop, it's almost like 11th through 20th when that caution came out. They did come to pit road. The top 10 stayed out.
Of course, every time I say that, I look in my mirror and I see that 40 car coming too, and we know he knows how to win here.
Sterling Marlin, who was spin to win here last year, and I'm not talking about roulette. He spun coming onto pit road
with assistance.
Yeah, well, he had help, yes, but recovered and came back to win this race 1 year ago.
It was controversial, if you remember. He got spun about halfway. He didn't spin all the way out. He was headed straight down pit road. He caught a gear and shot into his pit, which was down at the 4th turn end of the track. And everybody said, hey, he sped coming into pits, but they didn't catch it.